Hey, que la que hay, mi gente? It's Rocky here from SpeakSpanishFaster.com. And in today's video, we are going to be working on Ser versus Estar. And I'm going to pretty much quiz you to really help you out with this. I mentioned in my last video how I did want to cover some grammar, even though I definitely don't like covering grammar because I don't think it's really that important when it comes to learning to speak Spanish. I don't think you have to spend a lot of time studying grammar. It's much more important to get a lot of comprehensible input, to listen a lot, and to practice speaking more so than actually studying grammar. But, like I also mentioned, we can't change the fact that this is something that students have to learn, especially when they're studying in school. Now, I know a lot of you guys that watch this channel aren't studying Spanish in school. You guys just want to learn Spanish. But then we have another group that watches this channel because they need help with their Spanish so that they can pass their Spanish class. So there's kind of two types of people. And then there's some people that are in both situations. Like they're studying in school, but they're studying in school because they want to be able to speak better, not because they have to learn it, but because they want to. Long story short, I do believe that there are ways that we can incorporate grammar that can help you. And today I want to introduce you to a method of learning grammar that is completely different than the way that you currently learn grammar that I think can really help you. And I know I also have Spanish teachers that watch this channel. So I hope you guys also try to implement some of these methods maybe in your classes. Because I think they are very effective. Now, the method, I'm going to be sharing my screen with you in a second. That's why I have my laptop out, because when I quiz you, I'll just share my screen. So the way I'm going to be showing you how to learn grammar is actually something I learned from one of my language coaches. And he pretty much showed me this when I was learning another language because I wanted to take the C2 test for Italian, actually. And when you start taking those tests, you do have to know grammar. So it's a requirement. It's just like anything that's educational based relating to any type of school system. The only way that you can really be graded is on your knowledge of grammar. It's kind of hard to grade somebody on their speaking ability or on, sure, you can do their writing ability, but it's much easier for a teacher to grade you based on, can you remember this conjugation, or can you remember this set of words or this grammar rule. So that's why it exists. Again, it's not your teacher's fault. I've met many teachers that teach Spanish or other languages that don't like the way they have to teach, but they're kind of forced into a box because they have to follow the standardized testing curriculum to prepare their students for the tests that they have to take. But anyways, what we're going to do to really work on grammar is we are going to kind of reverse engineer the process. Let me explain. So when you're in school, you study, learn all these phrases, learn all these conjugations and all that stuff, all these grammar rules, and then you're tested on it. Everything relies on this test. So you're trying to memorize. You don't even really understand the rules. You're just trying to memorize certain things, and you never actually learn how to use them. So what I recommend doing is reversing the whole process. So your Spanish curriculum should revolve around consuming a lot of comprehensible input, listening a lot. And I talk about this all the time. I know I talk about it all the time, but it's really that important. Like learning Spanish is super easy. All you have to do, learning any language is easy, some easier than others, but all you really have to do is listen a lot, read a lot, consume a lot, and within no time, you'll be able to understand it, at least, and then you'll be able to start speaking. But again, going back to what I was talking about, we're going to reverse engineer the process, get that comprehensible input, and before we study grammar, the first thing I recommend doing is I recommend that you quiz yourself. So take a grammar test, take a conjugation test, whatever you want to call it, or whatever type of whatever thing you need help with. So for example, in this video, we're doing Ser versus Estar. So if you need help with Ser versus Estar, then this video would definitely help you. And you would want to take a grammar test or conjugation test on this topic, this subject. And you will naturally try to, without ever studying, just try to give the answer that sounds most natural to you. And I think you'll be shocked at your performance. You'll probably do better than you think. Of course, this is if you've been getting a lot of comprehensible input, all right? Just naturally, you'll know the right answer. Then from there, you're going to look at you're going to go back through with the corrections, and you're going to see which ones you got right, study why those were right, and then look at which ones you got wrong and study why they were wrong. That's going to help you learn from your mistakes, and learning from our mistakes it makes it much easier to actually remember the rules. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. We're going to be going through a Ser versus Estar quiz, and I'm just going to have you answer all 10 questions, and then we're going to go back through. We will go through the answers, and I'll explain why each answer was the answer that it, or is the answer that it is. So that way you learn the reason behind it. Instead of trying to memorize all these different states of being, and that's why this is Ser, that's why this is Estar. First, just do it naturally, and then you go into really diving in. And maybe you'll notice like you keep making a mistake on a certain Ser versus Estar. Maybe it's one specific example that you keep making the mistake on. Now you're aware of that, and it makes it much easier to correct that mistake. And it's always easier to learn when we learn from our mistakes, right? And this also does another thing. It makes Spanish fun. It makes taking quizzes, because taking quizzes and challenging ourselves is fun. It's just in the school system, they make it not fun because our livelihood, like if we fail, we might not pass the class. So we stress ourselves out. But learning a language we don't have to stress ourselves out doing it. We can have fun with the quizzes. We can have fun testing ourselves. We can challenge ourselves. And then we can use them to improve ourselves. And that's the best way to learn grammar, in my opinion. And that's how I definitely will start implementing grammar on this channel. Now in the future, I want to start doing these grammar videos all in Spanish, like I've been doing some of my more recent comprehensible input videos, because I think that makes it even more powerful when you are studying, taking these grammar quizzes, and only receiving comprehensible input. But I do know that it could be a little difficult to listen to what I'm saying, take a quiz on the video while you have to read the subtitles. Like that can get confusing, that can get difficult. And I realize that everybody here is at a different level. So I will kind of slowly maybe move into that. And I might just do videos separate where I do kind of these grammar quizzes and tests, and we talk about them while at the same time in other videos. Of course, I'm not going to stop doing the all Spanish videos for the comprehensible input. And I think both styles of videos can be very beneficial to you as a student. And of course, I'm still looking at other ways how I can make even other types of videos that can continue to help you out. So I know this was kind of a long intro, but I really wanted to break down the why we are doing. I don't just want to give you something just because I say it's what you should be doing. Like, I want to explain to you why I believe this is a good way to study grammar, and you can decide for yourself if you believe it's a good way. And then you can do stuff like this with me. You can do it on your own. You don't even have to wait for me maybe to cover different topics that you need help with. So for example, if you need help with another thing like imperfect verse preterite, which is probably the next one I'm going to do, you can search different quizzes or tests for that topic, and you can do kind of the same thing. Now, of course, it's much easier with me, where it will explain to you why each answer is the answer that it is. So it helps you learn super quick, because I think that that's super helpful. It's something that always helped me, and it's the reason I have a language coach when I'm studying languages, because sure, I can get comprehensible input on my own, But sometimes instead of me searching hours and hours to find the right answer for something, a lot of times it's just easier when I have a guide there to help me and show me the right way, because time is of the essence in every single thing that we do. All right, we don't have an unlimited amount of time. And of course, we want to become fluent. We want to be able to speak our language as fast as possible. So a lot of times it's easier to figure out some of the nuances when we have somebody to just tell us what it is. All right. So again, I know that was a long intro. I apologize, but let's get straight into this quiz. Okay, so let's begin. Ser vs Estar. Number 1, el juego blank el sábado a las 3 de la tarde. So of course, write down these answers. I didn't want you to just put A or B or C, because I want you to get in the habit of writing in Spanish, period. So if you write fast, you can write down the whole sentence. If not, just write down the answer, but I'll give you a few seconds to answer this. Now, let's go to the next one. ¿Ustedes blank en Europa o África? ¿Ustedes blank en Europa o África? Blank, la 3 menos cuarto. Las 3 menos cuarto. Blank, las 3 menos cuarto. So obviously in this one, we are talking about time. All right. Tus hermanas, blank, muy cansadas después de entrenarse. Tus hermanas, blank, muy cansadas después de entrenarse. Yo, blank, caminando con mi novia. Yo, blank, caminando con mi novia. ¿Cómo, blank, tu hermano, gordo o flaco? ¿Cómo, blank, tu hermano, gordo o flaco? Nosotros, blank, de Colombia. Nosotros, blank, de Colombia. Mi madre, blank, triste hoy. Mi madre, blank, triste hoy. La silla, blank, de madera. La silla, blank, de madera. Él, blank, tranquilo, leyendo su libro favorito. Él, blank, tranquilo, leyendo su libro favorito. All right, now we're going to go back through. I'm going to reveal the answers to you, and I'm going to explain why that answer is that answer. We will explain why we use that specific conjugation, and then we will also explain why we used ser o estar for that answer. All right, so number 1, el juego es el sábado a las 3 de la tarde. el juego el sábado a las 3 de la tarde. So the reason we use es here first is third person. El juego es. Now, the reason we use es instead of está is because this is an event. And when you characterize an event with things like, where it takes place or what day is it or what time is it, you use the verb ser. Okay? So that's why we conjugated this into es, and that's why we use the verb ser instead of estar. Number 2, ustedes están en Europa o África. Ustedes están en Europa o África. So, of course, we're using this to figure out where somebody currently is at. So that's why we have están. So are you guys in Europe or in Africa? We're just trying to figure out where somebody is currently located. And when you do that, you will be using estar. And of course, ustedes, we use están as the conjugation for ustedes and estar in this example. So the next one. Son las 3 menos cuarto. Son las 3 menos cuarto. So we use son here because, well, first off, we use ser in this example because we are telling time. Son las 3 menos cuarto. So it is 2:45. Now, if you guys, I've done a video on telling time. So if you're wondering why I say, well, you say las 3. In Spanish, you say it's 3 minus and then cuarto, like a quarter. So to say 2:45, you would say it's 3 minus a quarter, which is 2:45. Now, when you're telling time, you always use ser. You never use estar. And because we are using the hours plural, so for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all those, you would use son. So next, we have tus hermanas están muy cansadas después de entrenarse. Tus hermanas están muy cansadas después de entrenarse. So están here because this is a state of being. It's temporary. The sisters are only tired right now after training. So, of course, tomorrow they might not be tired. So this is a temporary state of being, which is the reason we use estar. And then tus hermanas is plural. And it is the he, she, ustedes form. It's the she form in the plural form. So that's why we use that conjugation of estar. Next. Yo estoy caminando con mi novia. Yo estoy caminando con mi novia. So here we have the verb estar. So whenever you have like caminando, hablando, you will never say yo soy caminando. It's always estoy caminando. And you use the verb estar and then gerundio to, which is caminando, hablando, buscando, whatever you want to, whichever verb you use. But that form, the ando, the ing, walking, running, corriendo, you use with the verb estoy or estar, I should say. So whenever you are describing an action currently taking place, you use the verb estar plus the ing of the verb. So again, I am walking, I am talking, estoy caminando, estoy hablando. All right, next. ¿Cómo es tu hermano, gordo o flaco? ¿Cómo es tu hermano, gordo o flaco? So here, I know a lot of people may put está, but we're not asking how is tu hermano. We're not asking his state of being. We are asking his identity. How is he? Is he fat or skinny? So we're not saying how is he in terms of, hey, how are you doing today? It's more of like, how is his identity? That's why we use the verb ser instead of estar in this example. And then, of course, we use es because this is third person singular. So that's why we use the verb, the form es of ser. All right. So I know that one was kind of a tricky one. I wanted to kind of trick you on it. So next we have nosotros somos de Colombia. Nosotros somos de Colombia. So we are from Colombia. So again, whenever we are talking about our identity, where we are from, we always use the verb ser. Okay? So we are from Colombia. Nosotros somos, which is the us form, I guess you could say the we form of the verb ser. Somos. Mi madre está triste hoy. Mi madre está triste hoy. So again, this is a state of being. That's why we are using the verb estar instead of es. We are saying today, my mom is sad. Pero mañana, ella no va a estar triste. Quizá. ¿Verdad? So tomorrow she might not be sad, but today she's sad. So for that reason, usamos estar o está porque es third person singular. All right, let's go to the next one. La silla es de madera. La silla es de madera. So we use es here because when you refer to something being made of something, so here the chair is made of wood, that's a characteristic of the chair. So we use the verb ser to characterize the chair being made of wood. So we always use the verb ser. Okay? So, and then of course, la silla is third person singular. So la silla es de madera. Now, let's say if this was plural, las sillas, then we would say las sillas son de madera, because that would be plural third person, but this is singular third person, so es. Last one, él está tranquilo leyendo su libro favorito. So, él está tranquilo leyendo su libro favorito. So, he is calm, kind of like he's chilling, reading his favorite book. Again, this is a state of being, un estado temporal. He is chill right now reading a book, but 5-10 minutes later, he could be outside exercising. He could be sad. He could be happy. Like, this is a state of being. How is he now? He is calm, reading his favorite book. And then, of course, this is third person singular, él. So estar turns to está when we talk about the third person singular. So how did you do? Did you get all of them right? Did you get 8 right? Did you get 6 right? Comment below. Let me know how many you got right. And let me know if there was any like aha moments or things that you realized that you have been doing wrong, or maybe you were better than you thought. So definitely comment below. Let me know how you did on the quiz. Of course, if you're looking to take your Spanish to the next level, you can always visit our website. I'll put the link in the comments for you. Just go to speakspanishfaster.com, where we have all types of programs that can help you learn to speak Spanish and comprehend Spanish easier, faster with natives. As always, if you enjoyed the video, do me a big favor, hit the thumbs up for me, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Until next time, I'll see you then.